welcome to another episode of the Herd Main Show. I'm your Herd Leader, John Wayne.
And I'm your Herd Mom, Megan.
And we are back and continuing our discussion of The Mandalorian, Season 1.
Le Mandalore.
We talk about Season 2 if we had a trailer. John Favreau.
Okay, look.
Dave Filoni. Our biggest fans.
It's coming. Dude.
It's coming eventually, yes.
If Dave Filoni was one of our fans, I would die.
I would have reached the peak of joy then if someone who makes a Star Wars could listen to me talk about a Star Wars and be like, that's cool.
Let it be known.
I'm happy.
Dave and Liv, future newlyweds. That's not going to be the happiest moment of your life. It's going to be the happiest moment of your life when someone who does a Star Wars listens to your podcast.
No, there's many great moments. That specifically.
No, don't backtrack.
No, I am a multifaceted man, and I can take joy in many multifaceted things.
Heck yeah, you can.
And one of my facets is a Star Wars, and it's definitely something I have thought about recently. I think about often, even what's a win for me and for this podcast. And while I joke about it being a Star Wars creator and some name, although genuinely, like, to have someone who made this thing think that the way I talk about a thing is cool, like that would that's a win. But even just like, I think about and this is just not part of the intro and completely vain, but I think about Star Wars Celebration, and I think about how I felt meeting people I had heard from and listened to and watched and followed for so long. And that was the first real moment to meet those people, and it never disappointed.
Oh yeah, like meeting I completely forgot her name, Yoda Bauer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like the Tatooine Sons podcast, meeting the Sons and like putting a face to the name and being like, oh, you're a person. That's weird.
I feel like a win for me is knowing somewhere how there's one person that listens to our podcast, and if they met us at Star Wars Celebration would have a good day. Like, again, super vain probably, but I just, being on the other side of Star Wars creating, that's kind of, a hope and dream.
Yeah.
People are happy that we do a thing, and if we didn't, that, it'd mean something. But anyway.
Meet the great behemoth Noah Outlaw.
So no,
challenge him to hand-to-hand combat. Sorry.
We're winning always when we're talking about Star Wars, and so we are continuing our series. Like I said, we decided we were going to talk about Mandalorian Season 1 leading up to Season 2. Looks like we're going to end that a little earlier than the premiere, but just in time, still close enough. So we talked about the first 3 episodes, what I would call the package arc, last week. That's very much the whole get the mission, get the kid, then escape with the kid. This would be what I call the run. This is very much him trying to figure out what life is like now that he has made this choice. Now that he has taken this way, how does that look for our Mando character? And then next week we'll talk about the reckoning, when it all comes to a head and whatnot. So hopefully you checked out last week's. If not, You should have seen The Mandalorian by now. Why are you listening to us and not watching The Mandalorian? But nonetheless, you can check out that episode. You can stop now. We will forgive you and go back. Or you can just go back after this one.
Yeah.
But hopefully you're strapped in, got your jetpack, got your blue milk, and you're ready to talk some Mando. As mentioned, we already discussed the first 3 chapters or episodes, as I knee-jerkly refer to them. However,
listen, man, it's fine.
I'm just used to it.
No one cares.
We first talked about those 3, so now we're moving on to, this is the first we get of Mando on, again, the run. He's left this life he's known for however long back on Navarro, which we have a bit more work put in terms of hopefully being able to name things and all this other stuff. Why it didn't happen in the last one, who knows? We're constantly self-improving, so
yeah. So
bear with us.
John, how do you feel about these episodes?
Well, I enjoy 2 out of 3. And you enjoy 1 out of 3? 2 out of 3? You like chapter 6, right?
I like chapter 4.
Okay. I thought you liked the one with the kid.
That is the no. Okay.
What? Go ahead.
There's a lot of characters in these episodes that are not very likable, in my opinion. That's just, my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a fan of characters that are
too good at being annoying.
Exactly, kind of irredeemable in that way. Like that kind of got under my skin the first time watching The Prisoner.
Chapter 5.
Yeah.
So not the one we're talking about.
We're talking about chapter 4, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing you. So let's go ahead and get out the way. The one I introduced that we're talking about first.
Yeah. I like this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're agreeable.
Sanctuary is a really good episode. It was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes. Yeah. She's fine.
She's fine.
She doesn't like CG, and
Are we just
very complicated. Huh?
Are we just in a mood today?
No, she's very old school, and
she's Ron Howard's daughter.
Right. And as with many people I admire, and she's done a lot of great work that I admire. So it was very hard to hear how, and I'll go ahead and admit, I'm going off of one extended sit down that she did on the Disney Plus Mandalorian, look. I've only seen minor interviews before, so it's never come up, but she just, again, old school. So in terms of some of her comments on CG, I'm just very, I am a big proponent that the future can be both. It can be practical, it can be CGI.
Exactly.
As long as it's good.
We're not, we've never been ones to poo-poo visual effects, practical or CGI, because we, like you said, we love both. Mm-hmm. What kind of breaks it is bad CGI, which there is none in Star Wars, I don't believe.
I wouldn't say there is. But similarly, bad physical effects can be just as bad. There's many things I wish people would do CG, but there's also many things I agree should have been practical, but I never know the circumstances. I never know production-wise what warranted it. I only just recently learned from a film that I really enjoy why they went with CGI blood for many of the scenes, and it was literally just because they were forced into a tight, I think, like 3-month schedule. Yeah. Like it was like 90 days, and that's to shoot the whole thing, and it's just like,
it's a very long movie.
Okay, so I would go with CG blood too. Yeah. If I didn't have to do many practical effects, I wouldn't. So I'm very middle of the ground with that. So it was just very difficult to it always is when I like someone's work and whatnot, to hear that they take a side on that sort of thing. I don't really think that's kind of the thing to take a side on.
Yeah.
I will say the work she was able to do with this episode, which does blend both, is very good. Very, very good. So much to really love in chapter 4. And again, we mentioned last week, we didn't hear from anybody, and that's y'all's fault. And, we're not hurt. We'll get over it. No, we follow a lot of people that are big fans of this chapter in particular, and I totally get why. I love it.
Yeah, it starts off with a great Baby Yoda scene.
Yeah, well, like you pointed out, throughout is a lot of good Baby Yoda stuff, because this is very much meant to be, all right, kind of unbuckle, let, breathe a little bit. This is the first time I'd say, whether it be a combination of, okay, the Mandalorian is now outside of this world. Again, he's known for so long, this bounty hunting Mandalorian hiding under the city life, that now he's just very,
breathe.
Yeah. But I think symbolically the episode represents that, because you look at the environment he was predominantly in the, again, Navarro, the planet where he comes from, which I just imagine just a tatted up dude whenever I hear that name. But that's a reference to Ink Masters, by the way.
So. I got it. You forced me to watch Ink Masters before.
I enjoy that show.
I know you do.
No, like you see, it's very bleak, very run down, very resource drained. You go from that to this very natural world, this very green world, a world that would make Ray go, oh, like it's counter. And I think that's meant to represent him in a season of growing, because he's in a new season. Like, I think it's entirely like he's been replanted. I'm going very plant metaphor. I don't know why.
Yeah, he needs to flourish.
Yeah. So all of the stuff with him and Baby are very relaxed, which new considering everything they've been going through.
Yeah.
In just the first 3 chapters and everything. So, we agree we like this one. We'll talk more about the rest of them in their own segment.
Yeah, I know.
Ma'am,
I know.
Calm down. But no, so they are on the Lamb and end up on a planet called Sorgan or Sorgan. It sounded like he said Sorgan, like Oregon.
They're just in Oregon.
But it's spelled Sorgan or Sorgan. I don't know. I heard an extra consonant.
It's Florgan. It's
or extra vowel, whatever.
It's Oklahoma.
I wasn't good at the grammars. But anyway, so it's basically just one big farm planet. I mean, literally, Oklahoma. Like any Western on the run, kind of character.
Yeah.
You go to nowhere. And that's what this is kind of meant to represent. Though the introduction to this planet happens before we get to see Mando and all that other stuff, which cute scene, Baby Yoda,
very cute scene,
messing with the stuff. I relate to Mando on a spiritual level because I feel like Boba tests me like the child does.
And also me. I'm also there.
And I talk to him just as sensibly, knowing he cannot understand me one bit.
Like I said, I'm there too.
Yeah. So, again, foresty, farmy planet, and we see a village that's raided by Klatooinian raiders.
Which different facial design for Klatooinians, I think.
Thank you for acknowledging that. I hated it. I'm sorry.
It was the same thing with the Transoceans in the last episode.
I need to. It's been a long week by the time we're recording this.
Oh,
I'm trying to. I will check that and filter that.
We're gonna take a sippy, and we're gonna deal with it.
I am not a fan, but again, don't know why. I feel like it might have to do with how many Klatooinian characters they had to mask and everything, but the design is different. It's different than the Return of the Jedi, which is the only physical portrayal of Klatooinians, but it's definitely very different than the one who Castus, I think, who appears in Clone Wars.
Yes.
He's that annoying Igor dude.
Yes.
Hangs out with Aura Singh.
It's one of those things, like, I get the practicality of it, because like I said, in the last episode, you have the episode before that, with the Trandoshans. If you look back at a picture of Bosk, there's no way you would have a guy in an action scene in that mask.
Well, they look more like the reptilians from Doctor Who.
They do, indeed.
Way more humanoid. It's really weird. So, overall, and that's why I can't be too mad at this, and I can't point it out to any specific fault, because it just seems like in general things had to be kind of tweaked for probably what was a very simple production for season 1. I'm more than sure season 2 is going to be a little bit different in terms of how it approaches design and everything, because now it's believed in. All of a sudden now it's got clout and it's going to get what it wants.
Yeah.
So I think, and again, they had probably a good 24 people done up as Klatooinians for these scenes. So
they were probably just stunt performers.
Oh yeah, you want simple outfits for that and everything. So, but anyway, I mean, nonetheless, Klatooinians don't appear much. So I guess I'm just bitter because I wish they would have gotten a little bit more feature. But they're sort of just grunty and just very meh. They're not really the point after all, because
of course
Mando shows up, and this is the Seventh Samurai episode. This is the traditional train a village how to fight kind of episode. Akira Kurosawa directed and wrote this story, and obviously that was a big influence on George, and George is a big influence on Filoni. So yeah, it fits. Of course, they would kind of fit that in.
Yeah.
I do like that it's not entirely as straight Seven Samurai as normal. It's not. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. It just like I get that it's Seven Samurai, but it doesn't feel like.
Okay, it's Seven Samurai in the way that the Three Musketeers, the Three Amigos is Seven Samurai.
Don't know that.
Oh my gosh, I need to show you that movie. It is stunning.
Okay.
It's hilarious. It's got Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short.
Oh gosh, that's a lot of old school comedy.
It's so funny.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it just takes just a different enough approach to it that it's acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And I just mean that in the sense that, again, this is such a referenced thing. You know, Seven Samurai is so influential, so revered. It's just people are gonna mimic it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the entire show you could argue is an adaptation of The Wolf and the Cub, like,
or The Golden Child, or any other number of bad guy finds child and changes his heart. I mean, Natalie Portman herself was in that with the, oh gosh, with the French dude from Godzilla.
Are you talking about Leon the Professional?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Killer finds a child,
but he doesn't change his ways.
Well, I mean,
he's still a murderer.
Neither does Mando.
He teaches her to be a murderer.
Neither does Mando. I mean, we haven't seen season 2. He's probably going to do the same thing.
Probably. But there's not going to be a weird undercurrent of that.
Well, okay, sure, but I mean,
that's a weird movie.
All right, I regret my reference.
You should.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on.
But yeah, so also this is the appearance of Gina Carano's character, who was highly anticipated.
Yeah.
Cara Dune. I don't think she disappoints in this.
No, I think Cara Dune does a fantastic job as being tough lady without being like overly tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a hard line, which I think, and I don't know if this is on Gina Carano's part or if she's just lucky to work with very sensible people.
Mm-hmm.
She never seems to be typecast into butch roles.
Yeah.
And I only mean that in the sense of usually there's
an expectation.
Well, it's like super extreme. If a woman's going to be tough and hold her own, she has to be like she basically has to be a change out for a man.
Exactly.
And it's like that's not realistic.
It's nice to see a female character who is portrayed as a tough girl who doesn't lack any like feminine qualities. I appreciate that. I loved that in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where she was incredibly effeminate. Which is part of the reason I adore that show. Is that she's just a teenage girl. That's Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, who now has reference in Star Wars. That's so crazy to me.
Yeah, it's awesome.
She was in I Know What You Did Last Summer too, right?
Yes, she was. I think that's where they met.
Really?
I think. I don't know.
I would
for
like
sure.
to believe that. I really enjoyed that movie. I've never seen Buffy, so I have no point of reference for her in that. So that is a lie. I saw one episode. You want to guess what the episode was about? It was about puppets. I just remember this scene in the gym, and there was a puppet, and she thought the puppet was a bad guy, and it turns out the puppet was trying to stop the bad guy or some silly thing. But it's like
I need to show you the Doug Jones episode.
Show me an episode of anything with a puppet in it, and I am there.
Honestly, yeah.
I am strange, but I love puppets anyway. No, yeah, I just think that Cara Dune's presented as a very well-rounded character.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to know she's from Alderaan. So that's another great reference there in terms of why she would enlist, why she would have this fighting attitude.
Mm-hmm. And also, I found out what spotchka was. This was a conversation. Yeah, we were having this conversation during the episode. It was like,
what is spotchka?
What is spotchka? Turns out that spotchka is a drink made from the krill that they're farming.
Okay.
So that's the whole spotchka thing.
So, yeah, the whole thing with the Klatooinians is that they want the krill.
To make spotchka.
Okay. See.
It's so silly.
A little bit.
It's okay to say it's silly. Like, because there is a fantastic undercurrent of this episode.
There's a lot going on that's so good. And I think the thing with this is what many Star Wars Rebels episodes can kind of fall into, in that because it has to get done in one episode, a lot gets kind of just introduced and moved on.
Yeah.
Just so that you can get the story. Like by the end of it, I had said that like I'm fine with justifying parts in order to keep what I really like about this. Like, does it seem like the romance is maybe a little pushed? Not to me, because I contextualize that as they were probably there longer than we think they were.
Yeah.
The kids are very attached to the child. I feel like more time has kind of passed. I'm one too that I fit in conversations that don't happen on screen. So I take into context that not every conversation these characters had are probably on screen that would lead to certain development. I do enjoy the dynamic between Omera and Mando. Omera's kind of, I don't know if she just kind of takes the role or if she's told to take the role of kind of caretaking for him.
Yeah.
In terms of she opens up her barn to him, provides him with stuff and food. Not like that, although she apparently was very interested in that. And that's again why I feel like they pack enough in there for you to insinuate the kind of conversations they could have had.
Yeah.
Because, and like, for instance, Kara just drops that she knows she's a widow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of adds some context. I think that Mando, again, also is in a season of growing. And I think he kind of latches on to the first person that really does seem to care. Something he may not have had or has not had in a very long time.
Yeah.
It's literally to the point of she wants to de-armor him. She wants to take away these things that protect him.
Yeah.
To get closer, like, and he's uncomfortable with that. He's like, not only just from the Mandalorian way, but just in general, I don't think he knows how to open. I don't think he knows how to. I mean, and season 2 could reveal, oh, he had like 3 ex-college girlfriends and like, I don't know, but like, I'm feeling, my interpretation is that he enjoys being cared about, but he doesn't know how to respond to it, if that makes sense.
I get that. That is a fair assumption, I think. And also something that I forgot to mention in the first part is that the lady who is, I guess, waiting on the owner of the bar that Mando finds Cara Dune in, that's Josh Gad's wife.
Yes.
Yes, it is. That's very funny to me that she got into Star Wars before he did.
Yeah, I think he's happy just being friends with Daisy Ridley. Yeah. Their relationship's very adorable.
It's very funny. He was in the Princess Bride reunion.
Yes, he was, which was very heartfelt. Oh my gosh, so emotional.
I don't want to feel those feelings right now.
So Mando and Cara, through their circumstances, team up. I do enjoy the fights. I enjoy how
the fights are great.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do when you got a professional fighter.
Oh yes.
I wonder how the stunt double actor for Mando kind of reacted.
Oh no.
Anyway, so they team up for their circumstances to protect this village and teach them how to fight back, especially once they learn that the Klatooinians have an AT-ST.
Yes.
Which this is cool because it shows what happens to tech. Like, they clearly just stole that.
Yeah.
And now use it for their... And I imagine this is representative of a lot of what's going on throughout the galaxy. This is 9 years after Return of the Jedi, and I think there's plenty of people out there that are just, what happened to it? This Imperial armory is not needed anymore, so I guess I'll use it. And all of a sudden, this village belongs to me now. Like, you see a lot of people this is the season of opportunity, I think, for a lot of power-hungry people.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the undercurrent of the entire first season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Taking advantage of the devastation left by the Empire.
Mm-hmm. So, which now with the AT-ST, we love.
Oh my gosh. It's such a good scene. I've been waiting to talk about this for so long.
I love the reveal of I mean, they've seen the track, so they know the AT-ST is there, but I love when they enter the camp and all of a sudden it just lights up. I'm a big fan of, no matter how cheesy some people think it is, I'm a big fan of technology being portrayed as an animal.
Yes, it is so good.
I really love, and this is a sneak preview, whatever you want to call it, to my opinions on Terminator Salvation. I love that movie. I love what McG did with the Terminators in that. Everyone growls.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are animalistic and brutal, and I just love.
Yeah.
I love machines that do that. I think what first started that with me is Judge Dredd. The mechanized warrior that he gets, the big, just tough brute guy. He growls, he grunts. I don't know if he's supposed to have personality or if he's just an angry C-3PO, but like I love that so much.
Yeah, well, it's like I forget the name for them, but the robots in RoboCop that are the first part of the movie.
Oh, the Ed 209,
something like that. I trust you to know better than I do.
Are you talking about the put down your weapon?
Exactly.
You have 60 seconds to comply.
Well, those are modeled after birds.
Probably.
And I love
amazing stop motion, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's stunning. I love machinery that is modeled after an animal as well. Sure. I love
these are literally
ATSTs.
Yeah, well, these are literally called chicken walkers originally.
Yeah.
That was like the code name for them.
Looks more like a puma to me.
Is that a puma? Oh, gosh, I have not thought about that joke in forever.
It's so funny. Do you ever wonder why we're here?
Yeah. So, but add to that the red eyes or the red cockpit, which they know what they were doing.
Oh, exactly.
I almost wish they'd taken a different direction with this, and the villagers thought it was a beast, just a beast in the village.
Because one of the questions that they have is, what's an ATST?
Yeah, well, because her whole thing is like, you knew about this and didn't tell us, so give us our money. She thinks they knew that they were more heavily armed than just raiders, but no, and that's the thing is, it's like, I feel like their job would have been easier if they used the AT-AT or ATST, but I almost want this mythological beast in the forest. It's not a beast, it's an ATST.
Ma'am, that's a Gundark. I don't know what that is, but it stole my baby.
So, but I enjoy that they make ATSTs dangerous. And we'll have to kind of move on here. We've rambled and gushed a lot, but I like that they make them dangerous. The Battle of Endor kind of built it up, but then the Ewoks are more than ready, and all their traps do a great job of disarming them. So it's like, I guess they weren't so bad. And overall, AT-ATs get all the love. So to see an ATST feared is a big deal. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, trading out a camel for a flamingo.
Exactly. So it kind of ends with them being able to take it down. The villagers help them take out the raiders themselves. And in the end, comes the big thing. Mando's given the choice. Omera offers for him to stay. He wants to leave the kid, which when that came out, I was like, what? No.
That's your baby, sir.
What in the world? I thought two things legitimately, and this shows how simple I am. I thought, number one, that was real. He was going to leave the child, and this was not going to be a season-long gimmick.
Yeah.
Or number two, the kid was going to get killed because turns out there was a bounty hunter chasing them.
Yeah.
I thought both of those were reasonable possibilities. That's what's exciting about new Star Wars is there's no promises, dog.
Yeah. We've relied so much on movies that we've seen before.
Right.
And gimmicks that we've seen over and over again within the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
This is brand new.
Yeah, so you'd think they would not, oh, that's a cash cow. Why would they do that? But at the same time, did they know it was going to be huge? They probably just decided, well, he can't tote this kid around forever, can he? Because certainly he's thinking about that. The character's trying to figure out the best way to get rid of him in a compassionate way. He wants what's best for the kid.
Yeah.
But again, they're tailed by bounty hunters, and so he's like, he's safe nowhere. Best to keep him with me. So
yeah,
it kind of it's an interesting thing. Obviously sets up the relationship with him and Cara Dune. It, I think, is definitely where you mentioned he has a lot of dad moments when we were watching this, and I agree. I think that's meant to train that into his character in this moment.
Yeah,
this is starting to again be that time where it's like, I'm not necessarily relying on the guild. I'm not relying on my clan. It's kind of just me and this kid. I have to I have to decide what's right. I have to do what's best. And so I think these are the sorts of things that build into his character for the finale that leads to him, putting his life on the line for this kid.
Yeah.
So, but overall, really, really great episode.
Oh, yeah. Very well done.
Yeah. So much to love about it. So now that we've talked about what we like, apparently now we have to talk about what we don't
you like.
I do like it. What's up, nerds and herds? Just wanted to take a break from the awesomeness to let you know about Anchor and to let you know that it is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. Now, if you've been listening for a while, then you know you've heard us talk about Anchor before, but just to make sure you know, it's an absolutely free service to use and has so many tools built in to help you make your podcast and to make it easier. Everything from running ads like this to editing and to distributing. If you've ever wondered, how do I get it on Apple and Spotify and all of this other stuff, you don't have to worry about it because Anchor does all of that awesomeness for you, and it's all free. That's the best part. We use it constantly, and it makes making podcasts so much fun and so much easier. And you can start making podcasts right now and start making money on those podcasts with what we're doing right now. So just by you listening, you're supporting our show. And just by creating with Anchor, you're already steps ahead of other people in the podcast world. And so everything you need to make a podcast is all in one place when you work with Anchor. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. So you're going to have to lead a little bit on this one just for the sake because you like this episode. This is chapter 5. This is yours, the Gunslinger. Gunslinger.
You got them mixed up. I like chapter 4.
You like chapter 5 more than I like chapter 5.
I like parts of chapter 5.
Right. I don't like much of it.
Yeah, you don't like the main character, basically.
He's not even a main character. I think you're giving him too much credit.
He's a character.
He's unfortunately entangled deeply with the Mando.
Okay.
He's along for the ride.
Steel Wars is going to come out of nowhere and just slap you across the face because he loves Toro Calican.
And that's fine.
That's fine.
I'm not saying this isn't an opinion everybody should have.
Yeah.
If I had to put any one as skippable or one I wouldn't rewatch, if not for the sake of talking about it, it's probably this one. I literally love every other episode. I will take the Jawas over this guy.
A lot of people would apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah. It's one of those episodes that it starts with a really cool action shot where, there's this dogfight between Mando and another bounty hunter.
Which was kind of an opportunity to show off some of the garage visual effects that they were doing and everything, which I really love. I like that the other guy, though, quotes Mando.
Yeah, I can bring you in warmer, I can bring you in cold.
Yeah, I like to believe that's the moment he decided that guy could die.
Oh, yeah. He's like, that's my line, which he literally says.
Right. So, yeah, I enjoy... Man, the things they were able to do with the effects, because also the just opening shot of him coming to Tatooine looks so fantastic.
So good.
I thought Rogue One did a great job capturing 1977 Star Wars look, but I feel like this took that and even more enhanced it.
Even practically while he's walking through Mos Eisley. Yeah. It still looks so good.
Yeah, which, it was such a big thing. And I mean, just the way they were so careful and loving in recreating this familiar environment, which is a hive of scum and villainy. I mean, of course, eventually he's going to show up at Mos Eisley's cantina. So, or really Chalum's cantina.
And one of the things that I really enjoy is when we get to see these great shots that we saw in the trailer come to life. Yeah. And context for them, except for this. Although it can be assumed.
What do you mean?
I mean, when he's walking past the pikes with the stormtrooper helmets on top.
Oh, you mean how it kind of came about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I imagine that stormtroopers tried to take over Mos Eisley, but it was one of those scenes like, you walk into a bar, you pull a gun, and everyone in the bar has guns. Like,
this is Texas.
That whole West trip.
Um,
I'm gonna tell Justin about.
We have so many people we love in Texas. It's not even funny. No,
Clap, 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 clap.
yeah, it's really nice to get the context of this just very wow shot. And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Empire had a presence on Tatooine.
Obviously.
To a point.
Yeah.
They kind of looked over the cities, and they only looked away from business that benefited the Empire, obviously, like hut business and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no telling how old this shrine or this Roman era warning road is. Because Romans used to do this sort of thing. This was the kind of thing of this is what happens to outsiders kind of business. And no, but like to finally see that shot play out, like it's just such a different environment. It's such a different Tatooine. This would be about 10 or 11 years. No, this would maybe be closer to 12 years later. 12 years after episode 4, at least.
Yeah. It's. I just love Tatooine so much. Mm-hmm. I don't know why.
I mean, it's a staple. I get everybody's criticisms of it showing up everywhere, but at the same time,
it's Tatooine, man.
It's the Star Wars planet.
That's where
I hate to put it that way.
The story began. Quite literally.
Like so much of the story is tied to that world. So, I feel like this is the guest episode.
And honestly, like
special guest Tatooine.
Special guest Tatooine, and also special guest Amy Sedaris. Very funny female comedian. Yes.
Okay.
Amy Sedaris has been on television for as long as I
see. I was more excited about Ming-Na Wen.
Oh yes, also.
She's probably the only thing I liked about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when I watched it.
Really?
Yeah.
Not Phil? Agent Phil? You didn't like
Agent Phil? No, he looks too much like a boss I used to have. And I've even told that boss that, and he thought it was a compliment.
It wasn't.
I didn't enjoy a bit of that show. I have not rewatched it. I have not given it a second chance, and I have recently come to realize how beneficial second chances are to media. So I'm not completely writing it off, but I am saying I did not enjoy most of it.
I'll say I didn't like Supergirl until I gave it a second chance.
I mean, it happens.
And also, that second chance was the episode when Agent Liberty shows up, played by Sam Witwer.
Of course. So all of a sudden, I'm invested. So seeing Ming-Na was like really exciting. I do wish she'd gotten a little more, although she got a very cool character for what she got. Very cool character. I am interested because of the way the episode ends in such a tease. Mm-hmm. We still don't know. There's questions of the identity of who shows up. By her body.
It hasn't been confirmed.
Do they retrieve her? Is she I mean, we've seen people survive worse.
Literally being cut in half. Like
exactly. So I'd kind of be okay if she comes back. I'd really be excited about that.
We learned
she's just such a great actress. I would like to see her back.
Yeah, I'd like to see her in more things too.
Yeah, well, I mean, in general, it's such a big thing to have such prolific actors, who are people of color showing up in such a beloved media like Star Wars. Yeah. Like, it's such a merging of the times.
Dude, when it was announced that, holy crap, what is his name? Donnie Yen was going to be in Rogue One. We flipped out.
Oh, yeah.
Because, we love Donnie Yen so much.
It's such a big deal. I mean, and that's probably what I love about modern Star Wars is I recognize that 40 years ago, certain people being on film was probably not as favorable. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying George Lucas had those opinions. I'm not saying anyone in particular, but I'm just saying in general, I mean, work was not as equally offered.
Oh, yeah.
So coming to a time now where it's a bit better, obviously we're human. The entire world has opportunities to do even better than it's doing.
Yeah.
But, certainly diversifying the cast. Amazing. And you want to talk about diversity. I mean, we get ASL in Star Wars.
We do.
That is so cool
also
to me.
A fantastic part of this episode.
It's a legit ASL signer too, doing that.
He is a deaf actor.
I really loved that whole thing because it's such an Obi-Wan moment of there's alternatives to fighting. Like, have you tried talking to them? What you can't talk. Oh, and it just makes it so much more tragic what happens with Anakin because they're animals. I killed them like animals, and it's just it's amazing what you can impart from your feelings onto other people. That, you know, these people don't deserve this. Oh, these people are horrible. These people don't deserve. Yeah, like, but that's just your feelings. Like, that's people are people. Like, do they deserve that projection? And you know, I didn't expect to get so much packed into a very humanizing scene for Tusken Raiders. Like, it's so significant.
There's so many bits of Mando that is just fantastic overall.
Well,
but like that makes it special. Like, you get characterizations of Jawas. You get a backstory for an Ugnaught.
Yeah,
like,
well, like
get...
we didn't really. I love the line of, you know, you talk like a Wookiee. Like, I love the just ridiculous Napoleon syndrome these Jawas had. Like, just like so snappy.
So snappy. It's like I referred to myself as 6 feet of fight in a 5'3" vessel.
Yeah,
I feel that with the Jawas.
Yeah. So, no, yeah, I think it's such a great opportunity of having fans create this kind of work. You get people who have thought about what if for so long that when they finally get the chance, these are the things they do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that John and Dave and any of the directors missed an opportunity with a what if.
Yeah. Oh, also, this episode is directed by Dave, and also written.
That's right. Yeah. Well, because he mixes. No, it's the next one he makes in his cameo. Rick Fimiyawa.
Thank you. I was going to butcher it, so I mumbled it.
Oh, and Deborah Chow, right?
And Deborah Chow. They're the X-Wing
all three
pilots.
of them. Yeah. I love...
It's so... I would have loved to see Taika as, like, I don't know, a hangar guard or something.
He got IG-11. He arguably got the best bit.
He did get the best cameo.
Wow, like, I can't even imagine being in Star Wars.
Oh,
like,
heck no.
Oh my gosh.
I can't even imagine being anywhere near Star Wars.
So we get to Mos Eisley. The setup is Mando is looking for work. He needs money.
Mm-hmm.
He needs repairs.
Yeah, his ship is damaged. He needs a baby seat for the baby.
Yes, he needs some safety features. I love that she's just very...
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're a bad dad.
Yeah, great opportunity for humor there.
Oh, yeah.
So he gets offered a job from this up-and-coming guild wannabe.
Toro Calican.
Toro, yes.
Thank you.
This is probably for me the thing that you have issue with the next one. It's someone playing their character so well that you just cannot stand them. And, I'm not saying there's not likable moments. Again, he's an unlikable character because that's the part he's playing. So, good job to the actor because he
does a great job.
Well, I think of George R.R. Martin sending the letter to the kid that played
Joffrey.
Yeah, just like, congratulations, the world hates you. Like, you've done it.
Congratulations.
So I'm not going to levels of I cannot separate person from character.
No, heck no. Like, it's the same thing with the actors from the next episode. I love almost all of them.
Well, Clancy Brown's in there, so
of course. I love Clancy Brown.
It's really just for me that he does such a good job of being annoying that I literally cannot stand it. So, but overall, I enjoy the opportunities it gives Mando to be dad Mando, or maybe that's exaggerating, to be teacher.
Yeah.
I don't think for a moment he's fooled by the kid.
No, of course not.
Because I think he's learned by now not to trust too carefully. But for sure, he's definitely using the opportunity to help get the score. Of course, overall, it's spoiled because Toro ends up... So Mando leaves him guarding Ming-Na Wen, who plays this assassin, just wanted criminal. So that's who they're going after. That's the payday. Mm-hmm. They get her, and they're like... I don't even remember why Mando has to go back to the...
I'm trying to find it. Like, we're looking at the Wikipedia, by the way, just to be clear here.
I don't remember why. For some reason, they split up, and it gives Ming-Na Wen a chance. I'm sorry. Fennec Shand is her character. Yes. I apologize for continuing to not mention that, but...
Oh, he had to go find the dewback that she was riding.
Oh, gotcha, to be able to get back. Oh, right, because one of the speeders gets shot down. That's right. Exactly. So yes, it gives an opportunity for her to kind of sow deceit because she's heard of the incident on Navarro that led to Mando being on the run. So she's like, hey, you think I'm worth a lot? He's worth a lot more. He's got some very valuable thing. What if we team up and go after it? And he's like, what if I go after it and kill you?
Exactly.
Which
and then he does.
Dude, 2 paydays. Get both. Like, come on.
Learn the hustle, dude.
I mean, I know his whole thing is I can't travel. I can't trust you to travel with me. You're gonna
kill me.
Yeah,
you're gonna do exactly what I'm gonna do to you.
I get it, but at the same time, I'm just like, I knew I did not like you at all.
Also, Mando gets his Boba line. He says she's no good to us dead.
Yeah. Gotta work it in there. So, of course, then he's obviously going after Mando and the kid, but Mando ain't having that. So it ends in a good old shootout and everything. Of course. But like I said, at the end, somebody shows up and overlooks the body of Fennec Shand. Not sure who that is. A lot of people think it's Gideon. I don't know. I don't know why he would care.
Honestly,
I don't know why he'd be there.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like I said, maybe like it's another guild member.
Some people have pointed out. Oh gosh, what's his name? He's from the Aftermath books, and it's escaping me because I know it until I need that information. But he's basically this Mando armored wearing sheriff in town, self-appointed kind of character.
Okay.
And so a lot of people are like, because he's on Tatooine, like he basically helped fight back against the Empire, which could be why there are the spikes and there's the kind of memorial of, hey, this is what we think of the Empire kind of thing. Who knows? I mean, they could end up making it anyone. Mm-hmm. Maybe they thought maybe it was meant to be Gideon, but they changed it in season 2. Who knows who it is?
Who shot Dale Cooper?
Right.
We won't know until the next season.
Exactly.
Then it's a really stupid answer.
It's a good episode overall. Like I said, while being critical of it, I have to give praise to an actor who does the job of making an unlikable character unlikable, because that's the whole point. But overall,
not bad.
Not bad. If anything, again, it's a moment for the Mando to shine.
Yeah. And a lot of little moments that make it watchable.
Sure, it's a lot of fun. So, yeah. So that's fun. Now we move on to one that you like less, that I like more.
Speaking of unlikable characters.
So the character I was thinking of is Cobb Vanth. I looked him up during the break. Believe it or not, the ads that run are real time. We take a break, smoke a pack, and come back readier than ever.
We smoke a pack of candy cigarettes. Thank you very much.
I picked a wrong day to quit.
Couldn't keep it lit.
No, I'm one of those people. It bugs me till I recognize it. But yeah, he's a criminal turned, or maybe criminal. We don't really know much about him before he puts on some Mandalorian armor and becomes sheriff of Freetown, as it's known.
Freetown, USA.
It's been so long since I've reread the Aftermath. Like, it kind of, in going back to double check my reference, I realized, wow, those were the first books in New Disney. Like, that's 5 years ago now. Like, that's wow.
That's so 5 years?
Been, pretty close to it. Man. Like the first book. So it's been nearly 5 years since I've read those books. Obviously, I think the latest one came out like 2017 or something like that. But nonetheless, it's been a while. So I need to revisit that, obviously, if I can't remember Cobb Vanth. But anyway, go read some Aftermath. Or not. I don't know. Chuck Wendig's apparently controversial. But I enjoyed his books. Don't know him, but I liked his books.
There you go. That can be said for a lot of Star Wars folks. I appreciate the work that you've done for this thing that we like. Maybe don't know you as a person.
Definitely don't know these people.
Definitely don't know you as a person, but like.
Yeah. I mean, even experiences we have with people. I mean, it's our singular moment experience. It's not the entirety of that person. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows? I mean, but anyway. Chapter 6. So this is one where we kind of divide in a different way, where I like it more than you like it.
Yeah. I like most of the people in it, but that's about it.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to kind of like, that's your redeemable qualities of this episode. Yeah, apparently.
You have Bill Burr as Bill Burr. You have Bill Burr Biggins.
Yeah, you like him.
Mayfield.
As a person, like just
I honestly don't know much about him.
okay.
I've never.
See, I will agree with you in that his character is very much very Toro kind of levels of you do a good job. You know why he does a good job because he's a stand-up comedian, and that comes through with how he talks to people in this episode, where it's just very like bitey and just gruff. And I'm like,
that's the thing is I don't like mean characters.
Yeah, well,
he seems very mean, and
I know.
like it. Maybe that's just the inner Hufflepuff coming out, but just I don't like mean characters.
I mean, if anything, they get their comeuppance.
Oh yeah,
I'll say
they definitely do. Hope
he's
that
definitely just despicable as a character. You know, we're not talking about any people here. We're not criticizing people. This is same thing as Toro Calican in terms of they're not them.
He's a decent fella. I just don't know much about him.
You know, Bill Burr he's a stand-up comedian, so obviously he's sandpaper with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I don't know that. I've seen a couple of interviews when I heard that he was going to be in this because apparently that was a big deal. A lot of people knew him. But overall, I see a lot of what makes him a good comedian coming through in this in terms of that. You got to be sarcastic. You got to be snappy. You got to be, you know.
Yeah.
It's tough.
My brand of humor is John Mulaney, if that gives you any context.
Like, relatable.
I like just weird stories and a very weird affectation of speaking. Like that's why I like John Mulaney and Eddie Izzard. Those are my two
men
favorites.
who were once boys in Victorian gowns.
Yes.
John Mulaney is like
so funny.
Top tier comedy.
You have Natalia Tina. I'm not sure.
Tonks?
Yes, that is Tonks.
Okay. That's the only point of reference I have for her prior to this, I will say.
She is Jian, I think, is the pronunciation of her name. She's the Twi'lek, if you didn't know.
Oh, Xian?
Xian.
See, I pronounce X's as Z's because of Xiaolin Showdown.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I missed that show. That was good.
Yeah.
You just like launched me back in time
gosh,
to Shaolin
such a
Showdown.
Show. Anyway, so
she was Tonks. She was also the wildling in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I will say I just absolutely love I really enjoy Tonks. And that's coming from someone who's only seen her in the films. I stopped reading at book 3 or 4. I think I read Azkaban.
Yeah.
And I kind of stopped there because I was like, it's not going to get better than this. I don't mean to piss off any.
Liz is going to come after you and eat you.
Here's the thing. I love the world of Harry Potter from the film's perspective.
Well, you're the same way with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's just I appreciate lore. I love the lore of Tolkien more than the writing of Tolkien. There's certain.
I get it. He talks about the beauty of trees like a lot, and for someone like me who is into that, I get it.
Yeah, it's just for me. I read very specifically, and apparently, I've discovered that I apparently read what a lot of people don't enjoy reading. Like one of my favorite sci-fi authors, a lot of people have a lot of criticism of apparently, and it's just like, oh, okay. I thought he did amazing, but sure. He wrote my favorite trilogy of books from the Halo universe and everything. And like, I've just never encountered and this is someone who has not read an entirety of sci-fi stuff, but I've not encountered someone that's written sci-fi the way he does and narrated space battle the way he does. And Eric Nyland, I think, is amazing. Joseph Stanton is amazing. Karen Travis, phenomenal. She's written Star Wars and Halo. And I'm not just saying this because we're talking about Halo on Nerdiverse, and that, but
it's in your brain.
It is revisiting these things. It reminds me of how amazing these people are.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway.
Yeah.
I only know Tonks from the films. She's a very likable, quirky character.
She is.
I hate that she doesn't appear more. I know I would get more if I read the books, but I'm just saying that the little bit we get of this actress portraying her versus the just absolutely like wackadoodle character she plays.
Yeah, I'm gonna mention that.
She's just very whoa. Okay.
You have Clancy Brown, of course, as Berg.
My gosh.
He is large.
Yeah.
And in George.
Still got it.
Like he is, I looked it up. He's 6'3".
Yes, he is. He's very tall. He's a tall boy.
Why are people that tall? He's a full foot taller than I am, John.
Yeah. I loved Clancy Brown.
I love him too.
As someone who's gotten so much voice work lately in his more mature life and well,
Your Sith trooper just fell over.
They don't like when I talk about Clancy Brown, apparently.
You talking about other red people? What are you talking about?
You know, and I could just be disconnected. I haven't consumed everything Clancy Brown's in, but I haven't seen him in film in a long time till this. So this was a very, oh my gosh, like, because I grew up, I love Starship Troopers. I love the character, like the sergeant character he plays. I love, I hate this movie and love this movie. I love Highlander. He's such a great bad guy, which is one of his first big roles and everything.
I love Pet Sematary too. So I get it. Like, he's so good.
He's so amazing. He's such a good actor. Such a fun guy.
The last thing that I really watched him in was Sleepy Hollow. Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
He was so good in that. He was the sheriff that dies in the first episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
No, he's the show, not the movie.
There's a show?
Did you not know?
No.
Okay. Add that to the list. We're gonna watch it.
Okay, wow. It's really good. I really love the movie. I don't know how controversial that is.
So basically, Ichabod Crane gets. I don't remember if he gets launched into the future or if he dies, air quotes, and is resurrected with the.
Oh, this is one of those when it was popular to modernize.
And it's really good.
Interesting.
I
mean, if Clancy Brown's in it.
For the first time.
So now, we can't just praise it for Clancy Brown. Okay. And we also can't spend too much time on this, but he's I love that he plays a Devronian.
Oh, yeah.
I love getting to see a Devronian character.
Yeah. And you've also got one of my favorite personal actors in British comedy, Richard Ayoade. Ayoade?
Oh, he's the droid, right?
He's the
droid.
From
IT Crowd?
He's from IT Crowd. He's good friends with Noel Fielding. He was in The Mighty Boosh. Old Drag Baby.
Gotcha.
Come on.
I didn't like that show. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
But he's very funny, but it's good to see him.
Well, we also get the guy that played the gangster, the Batman gangster guy from the Nolan movies.
Ishmael Cruz Cordova? Is that him?
He played the guy Ranzer that hired Mando.
Oh yeah, Mark Boone Jr. That's him.
Yes. He does his thing here. He just plays bad guys. He
does play. The brother of Jian is Ishmael Cruz Cordova.
You're saying a lot of names right now.
Tonks's brother.
Gotcha.
The male Twi'lek.
Oh gosh, I can't even remember how to pronounce his name.
Ken? It's Ken. His name is Ken. It's Q-I-N, no U.
It's Quinn, I think. I think they say Quinn. I'm pretty sure.
She's got a weird accent. I don't know. She's wearing fangs.
We binged it and whatnot. And again, this week is wearing thin, but no. I like her. I thought she was a fun character. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just think she's fun. I like how she plays the psychotic. She plays really Fairuza Balk character of just
That's why you like her. Because you love Fairuza Balk.
You want me to kill him? I'll kill him for you. Also, apparently, she was super into Mando, and he turned her down as part of the...
Oh, wait a minute. Is that why you're okay with, all the gothic stuff that I want to put in the house? Because it reminds you of Fairuza Balk?
No, I just like gothic stuff. It reminds me of my soul.
And Fairuza
Very
Balk.
Black, very covered in cobwebs.
Well, yeah, but I'm in there sometimes.
So anyway, this crew's put together because a guy reaches out to Mando for a job. Again, he's hurting for cash, so he's taking it. And it reconnects him with a crew who's kind of familiar in that you got Jian and Quinn, although he doesn't know about Quinn. Quinn's in prison. The whole deal is it's a prison break.
Yeah. An official prison break. He's in, Republic prison.
Yeah, well, and that's something praiseworthy of this is, wow, we get New Republic. This is our glimpse of New Republic in this show. We see that they use droids for security. We see what made them very soft. We see what led to the First Order being able to be like, hey, no, we don't accept this new regime.
We have gingers. No.
Yeah, we gingers are against this new world order.
Personally, as a ginger.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so, I know you don't like some of the characters in this and everything. I really love the action. I really love the combat scenes, the shootout scenes. Highlighting my favorite moments are, so they The whole deal is they need Mando's ship for some reason.
Because it's fast, I think.
They hook the droid up. The IT crowd guy plays Zero, who is basically just a very bug-annoyed droid character. And basically he runs a flight pattern that helps them circumvent the detection of the mobile prison. It's basically just like a ship prison. I don't know if they're being transported or if that's literally just a prison.
I think it's a transport.
I think it's just a prison. Maybe. But I mean, either way, they're in cells. So the idea is they get there, they find out, oh hey, dang, it's Quinn, or it's Tonks's brother. Gian. I'm sorry, I forgot how to
just pronounce it.
Gian. It's her brother, and apparently there's just this whole, again, they used to work together. It's this whole thing. So they locked Mando in the jail cell and then try to escape.
I'll say that I don't hate this entire episode. I like the last maybe 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, that's the most, that's the biggest part.
Because Mando just starts picking them off one by one.
Right. So, because the whole thing is they set off an alarm and there's one guy left, the only human apparently, and he's played by Matt Lantner. Which I love that this is his freaking cameo because it's so silly.
His credit is literally New Republic soldier.
He's such a
he didn't
sweetie.
Even have a name.
He's just so cute and Mando's all just like, hey, don't look at him. Listen to me. Listen to me. Mando's trying to operate with morals, whereas everybody else
has no morals,
and that's the rub. But he activated a detonation, activated a beacon that calls more troops.
No. He is about to activate a beacon. When he gets shot, that activates the beacon because he kind of twitches.
Semantics. Yeah. But yeah, so either way, okay, we've got to hurry.
Yeah.
So the bad guys, they lock Mando away and are hurrying to try and get back to the ship. But like you said, Mando escapes because he's Mando. I love his just
so good.
Next level of just taking out these characters, and it's very much like that first episode where guys perusing the cabin and all of a sudden he shows up. It's very much that of just, I know
where'd you come from?
Yeah, I know it's not realistic, but I'm here for it.
It's like Jason Voorhees, that tall man. Played by Kane Hodder. Where did he come from?
And this
How
is
did he
just
get back
very
there?
much, you've threatened what's important to me.
Yeah.
You've put me and my child at risk. I am going ham.
Yeah, Papa Bear has kicked in.
What I love is the reveal at the end, though, because I love when he gets back to Ranzer and what happened to the rest of them. They got what they deserved.
Yeah.
I love that line, and then the reveal at the end that he just put them in prison.
Exactly.
He locked them away. I love that so much because it shows his morals.
Oh, yeah.
It shows don't mess with me, but at the same time, I'm not a murderer.
Because he very well could have killed every single one of them
and it insinuates that he does.
Yes.
It cuts away every time just before. It's like this, oh, crap.
Yeah.
It insinuates that. And so I love that counters expectations and that, oh, he's not evil. He's not just downright bad. And that's what makes him our protagonist.
Yeah. It makes me worried, one day when we have a kid, will I become less evil? Because, my chaotic nature is what I thrive on.
See, it's already happening. This is the process of anti-Vegetaism, where by association with me and your just awesome spouse, you are slowly just softening and becoming more human.
But I am the hype.
No, eventually you're going to be taken over by a wizard, but then you're going to realize family's important and you're going to kill yourself, and it's just going to be happy. And if you're not in on the joke, I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z.
Batman.
Yeah.
Batman and Bulma. Oh, you're my Bulma.
I'm much more Vegeta than Bulma, as much as I'd love to claim that wonderful credit. But no, I think that's what I love about this episode is it's just a way for Mando to show off.
Oh yeah.
It gets a lot of fun characters. You get a couple of cool Twi'lek characters, which it's always just nice to get them personified.
It's nice to have non-human races put in the forefront of an episode.
I love the New Republic stuff. And again, I just love the hunt down scenes.
Oh,
the whole thing with Berg even is so cool. I love the whole thing of he just keeps coming back.
Yes. Why won't you die?
Right. but I'd expect no less of Davronian, of Clancy Brown's status.
Yeah.
It's just a really solid episode. I think.
Yeah.
I as much as you can understand why I don't like Toro Calican, I understand why you don't like these characters, because I don't like Bill Burr's character. I think it's Wesley, or what's his dad?
It's Mayfield.
It's close enough. They're just both annoying names.
Mayfield. Whatever. You think Wesley's an annoying name?
I've only ever known annoying Wesleys. I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
What?
Carrie Ellis.
Yes.
Princess Bride, you butthead.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Oh, I just know him as just Dread Pirate Roberts, or what's his name? Is that his name? Am I digging myself a grave?
We're gonna talk about this later. Don't worry, everyone. I'll learn them.
It's one of those movies I don't remember the names. I just remember the quotes.
Now where were we? Oh yes, the Pit of Despair.
Exactly. Oh gosh, I love that, and I love the reference to that in Holes of just like the very.
Columbo.
Huh?
I love the fact that the grandpa is Columbo.
I would want my grandpa to be Columbo.
Right.
Right.
I mean, your grandpa was pretty cool, but he wasn't Columbo.
True. I mean, he's as close as you could come for an average man. So I think overall, solid episode.
Also, we have the director cameo, which is Dave Filoni as Trapper Wolf. You have Rick Famuyiwa. Please pronounce it.
Fumiyawa.
Thank you. As
who directed
Jib
this
Dodger.
episode.
Yes. And Deborah Chow as Sash Ketter.
Yeah. I wonder if they let them make their own names.
Probably, because Dave Filoni named himself Trapper Wolf.
Well, I mean, he can pull rank on this one easily.
He really can.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation this week. I don't know what we were.
We're here.
We had fun, though. As we tend to do when we put the mic in front of us, we have fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If not, you can write a letter to your local statesman, and they will do nothing about it.
Exactly.
But
they
you can
don't care
do
about a Star Wars.
No, we would love to hear. We really would. What some of your favorite Mando stuff is. We're hard to believe, but we're going to talk about the last 2 episodes next week. Hopefully by then, maybe we'll have some things to talk about season 2, just because Entertainment Weekly's I wanted to say article. It's a book, magazine, drops September 18th, I want to say.
Honestly, we have more information about The Witcher season 2 than we do about the Mando season 2.
Right. So with Entertainment Weekly's issue coming out soon, we saw images which look great, promising.
They look fantastic.
With the issue coming out, I have to believe that the trailer's not far behind, so I'm hopeful. Maybe by then we'll be able to talk about it, but until then, you can let us know, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, what are some of your favorite Mando moments from the last 2 episodes? Those are big ones, so we cannot wait to talk about them. Still undecided if we'll do an overall recap or just floaty kind of discussion episode about the Mandalorian and whatnot, but just stick with us. If you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to the show, you'll get whatever we put out whenever we put it out, so you'll know. But
love it or leave it.
Yeah, thank you to everybody that listens. Thank you for everyone that puts up with the ads.
Please don't leave us.
All the good stuff. Thank you to our patrons, especially that pay for this for some reason. We definitely appreciate your support and input. We're looking forward to what's next. Again, exciting Mando episodes, but even then we've got some fun stuff for October. Spooky month is almost upon us, and we're excited for it.
Man, every month's spooky month if you're spooky.
Yeah, if you're spooky enough. So don't forget, we've got Nerdiverse coming out later this week with a nerd dump of more Halo content. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying that. That's very different. I've been enjoying it, but let us know what you think of that. I like being able to put so much work into something else I love.
Oh, yeah. Get ready.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more info dump. Not nearly as heavy as the last one. Last one was super sci-fi, so the next one is just very much more story. I think it's going to, it's a little bit different. Every different era of Halo is very different. So looking forward to talk about that. Thank you to Red5Network, who gives our podcast a little home, a little shelter, and a little family to love. If you like our podcast, there's many better podcasts out there, and most of them belong to Red5. So you can check out red5network.com and look up all of those awesome peoples. You can also check out Game Infinite. We work with them to promote Star Wars creators over on Instagram with Star Wars Infinite. But even still, if you like art, cosplay, and so much more of your favorite games, then Game Infinite's probably got it. So check them out on Twitter and Instagram as well. Anything else? Any last comments?
We left out someone when I was reading off the list.
Okay.
It was Carl Weathers. Do you know who Carl Weathers was?
Grief Karga.
Dylan!
Dylan!
Fishing so many pencils.